Greetings traders and welcome to FX Pro-Lite, the trading course designed to teach you how to trade the foreign exchange market using trade signals. Hey traders, welcome to week 1 in an 8-week series called FX Pro-Lite. If you saw the introduction video, then I want to thank you for coming back to join us for week 1 of this 8-week series. If you have not seen the introduction video, then I want to recommend you go back and look at that video so that you can have an agenda for the next 8 weeks. Why am I doing this? Why am I taking the time to teach other people how to trade the foreign exchange market? Let me share a little story, a little background story. The reason that I developed this course originally was that I wanted to teach my mother, who is retired, how to trade the foreign exchange market. And I wanted to do it in a way that wasn't overly complicated. Meaning I wanted to eliminate any technical obstacles. For example, learning chart patterns, learning price action, learning indicators. All these things were going to be barriers. And more importantly, removing one of the most complicated aspects of trading, and that is when to enter the market entries. So I quickly discovered that once we were able to remove some of the technical barriers to trading, then we were able to focus in on the core key components, which are trading psychology, money management, and a light form of technical analysis. And thus, the outcome from those efforts, thanks Mom, you now have FX Pro-Lite. Without further delay, these are the topics we're going to cover in week 1. Vocabulary, learning your trading platform, and homework. Let's get into it. Following are words and acronyms that are commonly used in Forex trading. Knowing and understanding their meaning will increase your trading fluency. Now, I won't be going through this entire list today, but I will focus on the vocabulary that pertains to this week's course. And going forward, each week I will cover the vocabulary that pertains to that week's course. Ask. The price a broker is willing to sell a currency pair at. Bid. The price a broker is willing to buy a currency pair at. Forex market. The Forex market is made up of 2 levels, the intrabank market and the over-the-counter market or OTC market. The intrabank market is where large banks trade currencies for purposes such as hedging balance sheet adjustments and on behalf of clients. The OTC market is where individuals trade through online platforms and brokers. Spread. The difference between the ask price and bid price. Trade signal. A Forex trade signal is a suggestion for entering a trade on a currency pair, usually at a specific price and time. Alrighty, moving along. Let's discuss the broker and trading platform that we're going to be using to demo trade during this course. I chose the broker Oanda for this course as they have a pretty simple user interface for their trading platform. Plus, their demo accounts do not expire. Down in the description section of this video, I placed a link where you can go and open a demo account with Oanda. If you haven't done so, this is a good time to pause this video, go open up your demo account, come back, and we'll get started on how the platform works. Okay, so now that you have an Oanda demo account, go ahead and launch the web-based platform. Then I'm going to walk you through learning the trading platform. These are the areas that we're going to cover. We're going to talk about the main sections of Oanda's web-based trading platform. Then we're going to talk about updating your leverage. Then we're going to talk about adjusting your balance for demo trading purposes. Then we're going to talk about confirming your time zone. Then we're going to go into how to add lines to your chart. Then we're going to go into how to add an indicator to your chart. And then we're going to wrap up with how to open and close a trade. I have my Oanda platform open. I'm in my demo account. And so I'm going to walk you through all of the main sections of this platform. We're going to start out at the bottom half of the screen. This section at the bottom, we're going to call this your financials. And the financial section is split into 2 halves. The left side is going to contain your account balance and your running balance, along with some other information we will get into later as we demo trade. And then the right side of the financial section will show you information about your trades in terms of your open trades and your closed trades. Okay, so moving right along. Now we're going to discuss the upper chart area. The upper area of Oanda's platform is going to consist of the main charting area, the side chart toolbar, and the upper chart toolbar. So let's go ahead and drill down into some of the more relevant things you want to be aware of in your main chart area. The first thing you want to be aware of is the currency pair that your chart is displaying. So in this case, we're looking at the New Zealand dollar and Swiss franc, which will be shown at the top left-hand corner. The second thing you want to be aware of is the time frame that your chart is showing. So that is located also at the top left-hand corner to the right of the currency pair. In this case, we're looking at a one-day chart of the New Zealand dollar and Swiss franc. The third thing you want to be aware of are the tools that are available at the bottom of your chart. So whenever you begin to move your mouse down towards the bottom part of your main chart, there's going to be a few options to appear. The first one is going to be a zoom out option, and then you're going to have a zoom in option, and then you're going to have a shift to your left, or you can shift to your right. And lastly, there's a reset button here to reset your chart to the default scale. Let's take a look at the side toolbar for the main charting area. On the side toolbar, we're going to cover a few of the tools that we will use during this course. The first tool that we want to talk about is the mouse pointer. The mouse pointer can be changed out from different styles. From the crosshair, this is the one I like to use, to the dot. You can change it to an arrow and back to crosshair. So that covers some different mouse pointer options. Now let's talk about our lines. You can add lines to your chart by clicking here. We're going to go down to the horizontal line. That's the line we're going to be using on a day-to-day basis during this course. We will get into how to use the horizontal line a little bit later in this video. So now let's go over to your text option. In the text option, you click, you highlight it, then you go over to your chart. You click anywhere there. In this dialog box, you can customize whatever text you want on your chart, and then click OK, and there's your text. To remove your text, right click and click remove. Now let's talk about the measuring tool. To use the measuring tool, you click one time, you highlight it, you go over to your chart, you click anywhere on your chart, one time, release, then you drag to cover what area you want to measure. You click again to lock that in place, and there you go. We will talk about how to interpret this information in the measuring tool later in this course. So the way that you remove the measuring tool is you click anywhere off in the blank space and it goes away. So now let's talk about the magnifier. The way that you use the magnifier is you click it one time, then you go over to your chart. It's just like the measuring tool. You click, release, drag a window around what you want to magnify, and click again. It zooms in. To zoom out, you click on the magnifier, zoom out, and you're back. So that covers some of the tools in the side toolbar that we're going to be using during this course. So now let's discuss the upper chart toolbar. I think that it is worth mentioning that the difference between the upper chart toolbar and the side chart toolbar is that the upper chart toolbar will have more of your chart options as opposed to the side toolbar having more of your chart tools. So let's start with the upper toolbar, and we're going to start from the left going to the right. The first thing we're going to see is your currency pair. The currency pair can also be updated in this section. The way you do that is you will highlight the current currency pair, then you want to type in Euro USD, so we can select that. And as you can see, your chart is now reflecting the Euro USD. So the next thing we're going to see on our upper toolbar is the time frame. Again, we want to ensure that we are in the daily time frame. You can update your time frame by clicking here, and we also will look at the 4-hour time frame from time to time. So let's click on that. As you can see, now your chart is reflective of the 4-hour time frame, and that just simply means that each one of these candlesticks here represents 4 hours. Now we're going to look at the different type of chart views. The current chart view we have is a candlestick chart view. If you click here, you will see that we have candlestick highlighted, but you also have other options. Let's go down and look at the line chart view. If you click on line, that simply changes the information that was reflected in the candlesticks into one continuous line. This is useful, and we will learn how to use this view later in the course. And we're going to skip over compare. We're not going to be using that in this course, but we will look at the indicator option here. If you hover over that and click on it, then you will see that you have a list of indicators that are included with this platform. You can scroll down and look at all of these. You can also click here and type in the indicator that you're looking for. So for example, let's do moving average. Then we're going to get some options, and you will see moving average is your first option. I won't select it right now as we're going to cover indicators later in this course. So moving right along, this is one of the best options that I believe is available with this platform. The almighty undo button, of course. And with that, you can click redo and go back here. So the next thing we're going to look at is the layout view. This is very useful when you want to look at different currency pairs in one screen. You can click here, 3-screen view. This is the one I like to use, by the way, a lot. And we can go back to a one-screen view. So this is a very useful option. We're going to bypass over the full screen. I think that's self-explanatory at this point. Next, we're going to look at the ask and bid price options. We did learn the vocabulary definitions for ask and bid, and the one thing we want to ensure is that you are in the ask price view. So that will cover the relevant options and tools that are available in your upper chart toolbar. Alrighty traders, let's keep pushing through this information. I know this may not be the most interesting content, but I do want to emphasize that it is very important that you understand your trading platform. Little mistakes that you can make in not understanding your trading platform can equate to losses. The foreign exchange market is very unforgiving when it comes to making mistakes, so let's try to avoid them. In these next steps, we're going to learn how to update your account leverage and to adjust your account balance. So what you want to do is go up to the top of your screen. Above your upper chart toolbar, there should be a small arrow. Click on that. Now you should see some additional options. We want to select Manage Funds. That's going to open up a new tab in your browser. Now that you're in the My Funds section of your demo account, you want to go down to the bottom section where you see the word leverage, and then go over to your right and you're going to see edit. You want to click on the edit button, and then you want to change your leverage, adjust it to 30:1, and you can do that by clicking on the drop down here and selecting the 30:1 option. So now let's update our account balance. The reason that we want to update our account balance is because when you opened your demo account, you probably started out with $100,000 in funds to trade with. This is not a realistic approach to demo trading. We want to go ahead and lower that amount to $1,000. This is what we need to do. Go to the account withdrawal button on your screen, click on that. Then you're going to go down to your right and select the select option. Now you're going to get a dialog box to type in the amount of funds you want to withdraw. In this case, I'm going to withdraw $500 as $1,500 is my account balance. So now I'm going to select continue, and the withdrawal has been made, and now my account balance shows $1,000. As we wrap up this video, we're going to cover 4 more topics with regard to the Oanda trading platform. Now let's discuss our time zone. But before, I want to point out that my chart looks bigger in this view because I simply minimized my financial section. You could do this by going down to the bottom of your screen, and there's a little arrow down here. If you click on it, which I will here, then my financials will be maximized. If I click on it again, then my financials will be minimized. So that's a good way to add some extra real estate to your chart. Going back down to the bottom and going over to the right, we're going to see a time zone option. We want to click there. Now you're going to see various time zones. We want to scroll down and make sure that we have New York selected as our time zone. In this case we do, so we're good to go. And before we go and add a horizontal line to my chart, I also think it's worth mentioning that there's a way that you can move your chart more freely as opposed to just being able to go left and right. So the way you do that is you go back down, and to the right of your time zone option, you're going to see a word that says auto. Right now, auto is highlighted, so that means it's selected. I'm going to deselect it by clicking one time. Now, if I go onto my chart and click and hold, I can move my chart up, down, right, left freely. So that's a good tool to use in order to be able to maneuver your chart around as needed. Now let's go over to our horizontal line, which you can find in the left side toolbar right underneath the mouse pointer options. We're going to click twice. Now we're going to go over to our chart anywhere in the white space. Click once, and as you can see, I just added a blue horizontal line. Well, let's say that I don't want this line blue and I want to put it at a different location on my chart. So let's go ahead and double click on this circle. Now I get a pop-up box. Right now we're showing the coordinates tab of this line. The coordinates of this line simply references a point or a price on the chart. Let's go ahead and update this price to 0.64525. So we click OK, and now our horizontal line has moved to a place on our chart that references the price that we just entered. Let's say now we want to change the line color from blue to red. You simply go back into your line options by double clicking on the line, go over to style, then you have the line color here. We want to select that, and then we want to select red for our color, and then we select OK, and now our line color has been changed to red. Lastly, we're going to discuss how to open and close a trade. Let me direct your attention to the top of my chart. Here you will find a trade widget. If you click and hold on the three dots to the left of the trade widget and drag, you can move this anywhere you want to on your screen. I normally like to keep my widget parked at the top of my chart inside the blank space of the upper chart toolbar. Now let's go ahead and click on Sell. When you click on Sell, you're going to get a pop-up. This is your trade window. We won't go into the details today, but we will cover this in week 2 when you will actually start the demo trade. But for now, this is how you would open a trade. This may seem like a lot of information and overwhelming, but it's quite simple. So now let me show you how to close a trade. If I go down to my financials, I will have some trades that I already have open here. I'm going to take the first line item and I'm going to go all the way to the right. There's a pencil that I'm going to click on. Once I click on that pencil, I'm going to get another trade window. And in this trade window, since this trade is already open, I'm going to have an option down at the bottom to close this trade. Throughout this course, I will show you other ways that you can open and close trades as well. Alrighty traders, you have completed week 1 of FX Pro-Lite, and down in the description section of this video I have left instructions for things that you will need to complete prior to week 2. I have also left some links for videos that you will need to review for homework, and if you have not done so already, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button so that you can be notified for week 2's video, and I will see you on the other side.